What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're back with another bar rescue. The name of the bar this week is the Caribe nightclub.
Caribe?
A womanizing owner and his enraged wife struggle with their rundown Caribbean bar. Jon Taffer tries to turn this bar around before the business hits rock bottom and the owner's wife bails.
GTH, go to hell!
Oh yeah, this one's a spicy episode when it comes to the relationship side. It gets a little fishy. We'll get to it at a certain point. I feel like Jon Taffer is a little bit of a cock at a certain point, but this is a very interesting episode. This one's way more about the drama than it is the actual bar. And that doesn't mean though that the bar is fine. There's still bugs and all kinds of shit in there.
The bar totally suck.
But let's start at the beginning. In 2004, Juan Pablo Martinez moved from the Dominican Republic to San Diego, California to help his brother run the successful Caribe nightclub.
Brought my wife and my oldest daughter.
And they were doing pretty well at the time. They were making $90,000 a month then. But in 2007, Juan took full control of the business, and surprisingly, they were still doing pretty well for a little bit. They were doing well until 2012 when Juan Pablo's mom passed away, and then that sent him into a big depression.
When my mother passed away, I couldn't handle it.
He got really depressed though at the time, and because of that, the standards in the bar fell, and the place just got really disgusting. There's like bugs everywhere, and nothing's really clean.
Sometimes he will give like $300 or $400 on free drinks.
You know, so many of these goddamn owners that have bugs in their drinks seem to give them away for free. Conspiracy. And they're also the ones that are losing the most money as well. But according to his wife Edith, there has never been any profit in this bar for them at all.
Caribe is never doing profit. There's no money, never.
And it's even gotten to the point now where Edith tells Juan Pablo, you either leave this bar or I leave you.
She has said either you leave that place or I'll leave you.
And then we also learned that Caribe is $300,000 in debt. And it was Edith who called Bar Rescue for help. And then this part actually really shocked me. It's Edith in the car with Jon Taffer doing Recon. I don't know if a lot of other people do that, but that surprised me. It was actually pretty cool, especially for what happens later on. It's very interesting.
You reached out to me because you're in a jam.
She tells Jon her story though, and that she was going to medical school in the Dominican Republic for 7 years before she dropped all of that to come here with her family.
So you threw away your medical career.
Yes.
And now you're here cooking.
I know he doesn't mean to be, but sometimes he says things so bluntly that it just comes off, he comes across like such a dick. Oh, so you threw away your medical career, huh? Fucking idiot. Look what that got you. Now you're talking to Jon Taffer instead of being a doctor.
Do you know about the rent?
And then Jon Taffer reveals to her that her husband, Juan Pablo, is 11 months behind on rent. 11 fucking months.
11 months.
That is ridiculous.
What is he spending any of the money they make on? He's got to be making some money here, right? I mean, I know they're really in debt, but fuck.
It's got to be impacting your little girls very much.
Nah. Not at all, Jon. They're fine. They're not impacted one bit, actually. And then Edith does mention here that sometimes she goes 2 to 3 days without seeing her husband because he's just at the bar drinking, working there. And that even their daughter won an award one time, and he's like, nah, I can't go. I'm at the bar. I'm busy. Yeah, fucking right. Busy my ass. And if that's not bad enough, today's their 14-year anniversary, and he has no fucking clue.
So this business is ruining your marriage.
But so now it's time for Jon Taffer to start talking shit about Caribe, and he looks over and notices none of their signs are on, and the sign that he can see, he says it looks like it was made by a high schooler.
Somebody brought you here for a first date. Would you be okay with that?
Oh, no.
And then Jon sends 2 of his friends into the bar, Ashley Daniels and Mario Alberto. But so they get inside, Ashley goes up to the bar and orders a mojito, and unfortunately they don't have any.
How can they not have a mojito in a Caribbean bar?
But so she settles for a margarita and asks for the menu.
We don't have any.
Oh, well, for fuck's sake, what do you have? Just give the bitch what you do have, for fuck's sake. But yeah, apparently their kitchen just isn't open at night. You know, we never see it open until Jon Taffer forces it open, but tonight it's not open.
You can't even get something
open in the nighttime.
And then, of course, Ashley gets her margarita, and it just tastes like margarita mix. She fucking hates it.
Is it drink good?
It's pretty bad.
They can't make a margarita. They're in big trouble, right?
But so then Jon gives Ashley a call to see what she thinks about the bar.
The bar totally suck.
And then he asks Mario, who is a DJ, I don't know if I mentioned that, but he asks Mario what he thinks about the bar as well. And he tells him that if he told his audience to come here, they'd all probably stop listening to him, which I think he should test.
I see a lot of guys here. We can put some women. 4 or 5 girls.
So this is where it gets pretty interesting. Jon and Edith are sitting in the car, they're watching Juan Pablo, and he's saying this place has too many guys, we need more chicks. So he's like sitting down in his little area, and he's like, I need more chicks and I need more drinks over here.
We need more girl here. We need más mujeres.
Then we see him very briefly like touching this other girl in the back, like putting his fingers through her hair, and Jon Taffer asks Edith, like, what would he do if he saw someone doing that to you?
Probably he gonna kill somebody or hit everybody.
So then fucking Juan Pablo asks the waitress to bring over some hot chicks to him.
Bring some nice girls and some drinks for everybody.
And he's doing all of this on his wife's dime as well.
Drinking, partying.
On your money.
My money.
That's just so fucking insane. What an asshole. And by the end of the episode, it's so annoying.
I don't recognize him anymore.
You need a Dominican man in your life.
Oh my God.
And then here's the moment of no return. He ends up trying to kiss this girl. He's like, have we kissed yet? And she says no.
Did we ever kiss? No. So I guess you and I have some unfinished business.
He's just fucking out completely in public, hitting on this girl, flirting with her, while his wife's watching and he has no fucking idea. But she's like really hesitant about it. He's like, come on, you're not married or anything. And she goes, yeah, but you are.
You're not married.
No, but you are.
And this fucking bag of dicks shows his hand is like, do you see a wedding ring on here? On his fucking 14-year anniversary.
You see a ring on this finger?
And then he awkwardly repeats it when the ladies don't say anything.
You see a ring on this finger?
So back in the Recon car though, Edith is breaking down and she ends up revealing to Jon Taffer that she actually already filed for divorce papers. Fucking way to go, Edith.
I filed the divorce.
You filed divorce.
Yes, I did.
And not only that, she wrapped it as a gift for their 14-year anniversary. That's fucking hilarious.
And you wrapped it as a gift.
And then she does say, though, that watching this video made her feel so much more comfortable with doing this. I think she was nervous and felt like maybe this was a dick move, but now she's like, oh, he's fucking trying to kiss other girls in here? You need a Dominican man in your life? Fuck you.
He's throwing away everything, even us.
But so then now it's time for Jon and Edith to go inside and talk to Juan Pablo, which I do want to mention, the rest of the episode, they fucking call him JP, but in the beginning, they were all calling him Juan Pablo, so my notes kind of go back and forth.
Oh, darling.
We've been watching you all night.
Oh, shit. He must have shit his pants right there. And then Edith asks Juan Pablo what day is it. He has no fucking answer, and then she gives him his gift.
Do you remember what day is today?
And then when he doesn't answer, like he still doesn't know what day it is, she throws his drink in his face, which I've always wanted to fucking do.
Freaking drink all day.
That just seems so fucking satisfying.
Quick, hit that 2 time and fuck with this.
But so then Edith leaves at this point, and Juan Pablo follows her outside, and they kind of get into a little argument very briefly out there.
Trying to embarrass me in front of my people.
GTH, go to hell.
Edith leaves again, though, at this point, and says that she's taking the kids with her, and he's no longer their father.
That's your decision.
Wow. Way to fucking fight for your kids. I'm taking your kids. Okay, I was gonna ask you to. Thanks. But so then he goes back inside and he starts talking to the camera, and he's just a real fucking dildo.
What was I doing? Talking to a few girls? Am I breaking the law? No.
I mean, breaking the laws of your marriage, kinda. So, I mean. But so then now Jon Taffer comes up to Edith and he asks her the hard question. He says he can actually fix this bar, but is Juan Pablo actually worth it?
I can fix the bar. The question is he worth it?
But we never really get to see her answer to this. They just kind of move on and he's working at the bar, so I'm assuming she said yes, but like she's thinking about it and then we really hear nothing. Unless I fucking just missed that part and it was very brief, she said nothing. They kind of play it throughout the episode that like she's waiting to see if he turns around, but you'll see. And then the next day, Jon introduces Mia Mastiani to the bar staff. She's his favorite mixologist. So, I mean, she makes good drinks that he likes. And then also helping out is Anthony Lamos, a culinary expert.
I gotta find somebody to cook in that kitchen because I want to open that kitchen.
And then Jon asks if anybody here will volunteer to step up and be trained in the kitchen because, you know, it's closed and they got nobody fucking working there.
I do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Raslavo's going to train with you in the kitchen.
And then Jon lets everybody know here, though, that he's here for Edith and the staff. And then he turns to Juan Pablo and says, we'll see in a few days how I think of you.
Landlord's gonna take your bar, your wife is gonna take your frickin' family, and then you'll get what you deserve.
See, there's stuff in this beginning part where Jon Taffer's like really on his fucking neck and yelling at him. And then there's a certain point, I'll point it out, where he's kind of like, hey, maybe you guys get back together. I don't know, just throwing it on the table. And it's weird. But here, Juan Pablo tries to explain himself and Jon Taffer interrupts and is like, you can't bullshit me. I know you're a piece of shit. I was watching you with your wife. She'd believe me. Go fuck yourself.
So you might be able to fool your wife, but you'll never fool me.
And he actually gets told by Juan Pablo that you should watch your words. And he's like, I'll say whatever the fuck I like.
Guys, I will be careful with your words. We have to.
I'll say any thing I want to.
And then here Juan Pablo tries to say that he's a business guy. He drinks here, but he doesn't actually get drunk. And then everyone's like, actually, no, it's the opposite. You're always drunk. You're almost never sober here.
So he's never drunk here, right?
The opposite.
And then we also learn that apparently he comes onto the women so strongly at this bar that he scares them away. So sometimes there's girls that were like would-be regulars, and they're like, I'm not gonna fucking go there because Juan Pablo's gonna talk to me.
How many women has he chased away by his actions?
A lot.
I don't remember a girl leaving because of me.
Well, that's probably because you're drunk. You don't remember any of the guys you talked to either, I bet. Hey, I don't remember sucking any dick in the bathroom. Although, to be honest, I don't remember going to the bathroom. And then Juan Pablo's like, well, you've been here for like a couple minutes, and you think you got me all figured out? And Jon Taffer's like, yeah, I kind of do. Does anybody else agree? Do you think I got it right?
Come here for a few minutes and you got me all...
Raise your hand if you think I'm right.
And then Juan Pablo tries to say that he's here all the time and that the place is organized and very clean. So then Jon Taffer calls his bluff and takes him on a tour around the place to see how gross it is.
There's a smell back here. I'm guessing this area has not been touched.
Look at this. It's bacteria. That's gross.
Oh, Juan Pablo, it's not looking good for you, buddy. If you're cleaning this place, you're not doing a great job. But of course, you know, all of the dirt, anything bad here, he tries to blame on the bartenders. He's like, it's their job to clean that area. And Jon Taffer's like, yeah, but it's your job to make sure that their job's done, isn't it?
You're gonna blame them.
'Cause I can't do everything.
You just told me you did everything.
And then, of course, they spot a bunch of fruit flies by the liquor bottles, and then they look inside the liquor bottles, and they're full of bugs.
There's a big one in this one. It's like a moth or something.
Oh, and then they pour out dry vermouth, which is supposed to be clear, and it looks like fucking chocolate milk coming out of this thing.
Anybody want to drink that?
Oh, I'll give you $5 if you drink it. Oh, that looks so gross. Leave a comment down below. How much money would it take for you to drink this dried vermouth? Me personally, I'd say $50 and I'd think about it.
Anybody want to drink that?
Then Jon filters out the vermouth by like pouring it into another glass with a cloth in between and just shows them all the bugs that are on it.
I have never seen anything like that in my life.
And then of course, Juan Pablo here tries to be like, this was a setup.
We went out and caught all of these with little traps, right? Little traps everywhere. Then I peeled them off the trap and I put them in this bottle.
But so then after that, Jon Taffer rips into Juan Pablo a little bit more, and then before he leaves, he turns to him and goes,
You better be covered in because that's what you deserve.
see, this is what I'm talking about with how much of a dick he is to Juan Pablo because he likes Edith. We'll get to it, but you know, Edith kind of forgives him, and Jon Taffer's on his side, and I don't like that. I don't know why I was like praying that whole time either. Maybe I'm praying for Edith. But so then after Jon Taffer leaves the room though, Juan Pablo's like, somebody needs to kick his ass.
Somebody needs to kick that guy's ass.
And then a little bit later, after they've cleaned the entire bar and replaced all the bottles,
It looks a lot better.
now the staff can finally be trained.
Dance with me, Victor. Boom! Nailed it!
And then over in the kitchen, she's making chicharrones.
Crispy pork skins.
And then he says that in the kitchen, they made it very simple for her with little sharing appetizers so that way they can get the food out of there at a fast pace. Hey, Jon Taffer, how do you feel about JP as a bar operator?
JP sucks as a bar operator.
But so then now Jon Taffer sits down with Juan Pablo and they discuss how much money he needs to make so they don't get evicted in a few days.
We will get up to $100,000 a month. That's what I want you to try to make happen tonight.
And then Jon shows him the days of the week that they make the most amount of money in and the amount of hours it would take to make the money they need and things like that. And basically just shows him like a plan to get to $100,000 a month. And then Jon brings Edith into the room, and here's the point where by the end of this conversation, it feels like maybe behind the scenes, Juan Pablo and Jon Taffer had some kind of conversation. Because at the end of this conversation here, Juan Pablo is under the impression that like if he does things right, he could win her back.
Thank you for giving me another chance.
I don't give you another chance.
You gonna give me another chance?
And she's like, whoa, I'm not giving you a chance. Like, let's see what happens here first.
I would have said sorry, you know, for everything that I put you through.
He gives her like a half-ass apology here, and it's just real weird. You could just totally tell this is the start of a story where now they're getting back together at the end.
You need to prove me that you were willing to change.
It's stress test time though for Caribe.
Caribe?
So they have like 1 hour to make $1,600, and in the beginning they're doing very well. And Jon Taffer says if they're consistent that they'll make it to their goal pretty quick.
I've been waiting 21 minutes and no drinks.
Very thirsty.
Oh, fuck, things are starting to fall apart. They were doing really good in the beginning, but then very quickly, they seem to get a little stressed out, things slowed down, but they do get better at picking things up in the end. There is a part there where a couple girls ask Juan Pablo for shots, and then he comes over and is like, hey, sexy ladies, can I give you something for you?
Can I get something for you? Hot girls.
The girls order 4 shots, including 1 for Juan Pablo, and then when he goes to make the shots, he's like sneakily looking around, being like, is my wife around here? I think he even asks, like, has anybody seen my wife?
See my wife, huh? Never seen it.
But you won't fucking believe it. He actually goes over there, pours them the shots, and turns down his, being like, I can't drink, I'm working.
No, I can't drink. They don't let me drink. I'm working.
I mean, good for you, Juan Pablo. You're still a fucking cock, but good for you. I gotta be 100% honest, though. If there were no cameras here and he knew Edith wasn't here, I'm pretty sure this motherfucker's drinking with them. I could be wrong, but I think he is. It's been an hour, though, now, so now they shut down the bar and see if they made their goal.
What did we do in sales?
They ended up making $1,669 tonight.
69, dudes!
In just 1 hour. Very good for them, honestly. Yeah, very good.
I'm so proud of you, baby.
See? She's already taking him back. You could fucking tell. And then here we go. Jon sits down with Edith and JP. He ends up breaking down crying. He apologizes. He says all this bullshit to her and then asks her if he can tear apart the fucking divorce papers. And unfortunately, she lets him.
I just want to know if I could rip them up. Sorry for everything that I put you through.
I can't fucking believe that, though. She fucking saw him almost try to kiss another girl, no wedding ring on his finger, all that bullshit.
You need a Dominican man in your life.
And she just forgives him a day later, after, like, preparing divorce papers, so you know there's been stuff before this. It's remodel time, though, at Caribe.
Caribe?
The bar gets renovated, then it's revealed to Edith, Juan Pablo, and the gang. The gang being, you know, the whole staff. Now renamed to La Luz Ultra Lounge. It has a really nice like spotlight sign out front. I really like that. It has a yellow font and shit.
My mother's name was Lucia, and my daughter's name is Lucelis.
It is kind of sweet though. Jon Taffer named it after his mom and his daughter, so like they mixed the names in there, so it's his past and his future with like his women and shit. I do like that. That's very cute. Maybe you could have thrown a little Edith in there, but you know, I guess she didn't fit. Sorry, Edith, you didn't make the cut. I know you reached out to me, and you're the only reason I'm here. You didn't make the cut in the title though. But so now they head inside to continue looking at the renovations. Clip of Edith going, ah! The before and after in this place, though, is fucking wild. The lighting's completely different. The walls are painted differently. They have so much different furniture around. It's a completely different place. Although I will say, though, the more and more I watch these, Jon Taffer kind of has a vibe he always goes for in these bars. Sometimes he switches up the colors or something. But for the most part, these bars kind of look the same.
I gotta show you the bar.
And then Jon Taffer was real excited about this. He added a whole nother station to the bar. If things get swamped, they get out a third bartender, and she has her own little station to ring people up and shit. But so now that the whole place is renovated and everything's nice and cool for them, now they have one more night to run things and see if they can do it well now.
Welcome to La Luz Ultra Lounge.
Unfortunately, though, things are not going that great. They're really slow, and some of the bartenders are just freezing.
This doesn't look good. What are you doing? You're frozen. Do something.
I don't even think we would make $1,600 in an hour right now.
But then they take Miroslava out of the kitchen and bring her up to be the third bartender, and then things pick up very fast there.
You're a hero tonight. Thanks for stepping in.
But even with their little hiccup here in their hour, they end up making over $2,000.
Over $2,000 in this hour. Wow. My work is done, buddy.
So then Jon Taffer gives Edith and Juan Pablo a hug and says goodbye, and then we get our 6 weeks later update. Their beverage sales are up 25%, and their food sales are up 65%, but that kind of confused me because their kitchen was like completely closed before, and now it's open, so shouldn't sales be up 100% for that? Not 65? Because it was 0 before. And then it says JP has begun to pay back his rent that he owes, and then he's happy to work alongside Edith every night. To me, that's a very piss poor update. It didn't really give us much at all. And then to be honest too, the years later update doesn't give us that much either. It's still open to this day. Reviews are very mixed though. There are complaints that the bar is overpriced, and then unfortunately the staff has poor service as well. But so honestly, it kind of seems like it's the same bar. In early March 2026, the location suffered a major fire that required multiple local fire crews to respond. But you know, according to that, it wasn't bad enough that the place is closed. They're still open. And then I tried to look through Reddit and a couple other places just to see if there was any update on Juan Pablo or Edith, if they're still together, anything like that. And I only saw good updates. Nothing like hardcore. It was just like little updates here and there, but it seems like they're still together. So I guess good for them, I guess. I don't know if I applaud that or not. But alright, that was La Luz / Caribe.
Caribe?
I still can't believe Edith took him back. I mean, I guess, you know, if they're still together now and things worked out, sure. But he totally was gonna cheat on you. I don't know, Edith. But other than that, you know, their bar ended up being really cool at the end. I liked their sign out front. I think it was remodeled very cool. It had a good vibe in there, I guess, even though the reviews say the staff sucks. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me yap about bar rescue. Thanks for taking time out of your day to do so, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace out, Girl Scouts. And please, if you have a bar or you know someone that has a bar, tell them to make sure there's no bugs in their bottles. It seems like every bar has bugs in their bottles. Every single one of these shows I'm watching, there's more cockroaches and bugs every episode, it seems like.